Welcome back from the commercial break. We continue the discussion and looking at technology and industrialization are economic game changers. We are privileged to continue our discussion with our dear guests, Dr. Kimese Alon from the Extreme Mind, and also Honorable Lakia Shalom Balimoy. And she is the woman representative of Guru District. We appreciate for these generational leaders, and we are hopeful in you, Honorable. And we believe you don't leave any stone unturned. The moment you leave any stone unturned, you will be limiting the growth of the next generation that is coming. What I'm simply meaning is that you must leave a legacy. How do we leave a legacy? We face the realities and we be determined to make a change. One doctor said that when you come into this world, you must make it a better place to live in. You don't leave it where it was. Where we are in a generation where we are talking about President Museveni's generation almost. He's coming to a certain climax whatsoever. And there will be another generation that is coming. And we will not put any blame now on him. It will be you. Now it's us already. It's already the transition, I can say. Transiting from the other old age.
The old man is still strong enough.
Let him
first leaders.
No problem with the age.
Steering us very well.
Don't worry. There is already transition. When you see this gentleman, you see him beginning to have gray hair. It means himself there is someone who is looking at the door saying, hey, now you are no longer, you are becoming a Mzee. So leaving that aside, I am just clearly stating that generations come and go. That one you can never erase it. And as we are in this generation, about to enter into another phase of the generation, some things should be done better or best than they were done before. And we are again laying a foundation as I bring you back on board to discuss that what is missing to be done, there should be a time when we say no. There's a time when there was an issue of a protest against the energy, the cost of energy. And a bit it was on the floor. But there are some countries, while I'm dealing with the policy making, Honorable, there are some countries when they say the cost of energy, whether you like it, whether you are from Mzee, whether you are not from Mzee, we don't want to know. For us, what we want is electricity. Let everybody access electricity. How does one access electricity? One, the cost of accessing it, the issue of extending it by the planting extension of the power grid, and also we call it what? These meter electricity meter boxes which are high. And beside that, you were saying it, when you go to how much do you pay? These days it's called Diaka. You find you are paying a lot. So you rise up as policymakers and we say, no, this cannot work. And it works because the cost is high. Dr. Kimese Alon, we are having impediments against the excellence of technology and industrialization, and we are looking at the issue of power and the issue of productivity, especially for raw materials, is low. How can we change that game?
I think also we have to adopt a model of what public-private partnership. I think also can work. I think the university, like I'm coming from the private sector, but I'm not saying it so much that the government is trying to mind so much about the private sector, especially in terms of taxes. You need to put, of course, the government has its own production line, but as well as also the private has its own production line. And all of us, we are playing in the same field. Okay, like for example, if I produce a student at Cavendish University and Makerere produces a student, I think all of them are going to work in Uganda. So I think we need to cement that. Even recently, the president, they were passing money for research. We saw public universities are getting funding from the government, as if for us we are living at the moon, yet we are living at, all of us, we are playing in the same field. So I think that is very important that we need to emerge the two sectors, because where Uganda has reached, I think we are moving in the same direction, and even the policy, the vision you are talking about cannot be achieved by only the government players.
So you are saying the coming in of public-private
In partnership.
the partnership
Yes.
can solve the challenge of high cost
Yes.
of that's against the access to electricity?
Yes, we have seen it that, like in terms of the education sector, you have seen what it has it has done wonders. For example, when this government came in 1986, I think in Uganda must have had only Makerere University possibly, but when it allowed in the private sector to come in. And another thing, why should we focus on hydroelectricity? Because when you bring in the private sector, it's going to be innovative.
So what will the private sector, how will it change?
We will change that. We are not focusing only at the hydropower energy, but we have other types of hydropowers that maybe can be there. Like right now, she was talking about the solar. I don't know the solar is made by this government of Uganda. I think it must have been a private company that brought and you are seeing that the 1 inch down there, they are able to consume a private product, which is again leaving the government electricity, which we are saying, I think we have been sharing here, that they can bring for your poll here, but putting the electricity, putting it in the house, yet is a public is a public good. But now this is solar, which is brought in by an Indian, possibly a Chinese, but able is producing at a very lower cost. And I'm able to...
I appreciate your point.
Yes.
As you submitted it, very clear.
Yes.
And I do also to the viewers. But we cannot escape from the path that the government has taken, that is still taking, by even, borrowing loans in order to build more dams so that there is access to power. I've already heard from the head of state you are referring to, and the theory seems to be good, but the practice is what I am critically reviewing in this analysis. While those companies that have come into play, number one, there are those who support government to get loan to build more dams. Yes, those are number one, the financial institutions. Then there are also companies which have come in play. That's what I was trying to compare with your submission, but you also got yours. The Umeme is a challenge. When you say Umeme, it was becoming like another life.
Yeah.
So now, why can't this challenge be solved? Because the hydroelectric power, we need it and we must use it. Me, I'm insisting, much as I'm not using a police force. I'm insisting. The hydroelectric power, it is the one which can turn around your fortunes in Busoga to have more than 2 industries, not to have an industry of an Indian, which will be able to manufacture more sugar, because sugarcane, the production of sugarcane is high. But the industries in place, we don't have them, and even which can add value, so that our sugar can be sold. That's now industrialization. Our sugar can be sold to Ugandans and even in the region, because the region, it can do that. And there are many more other areas, because we have land in our country. If sugar cane was measured as one of the cash crop in areas where there is land, then you find that we are a first world, a first African or regional country, which is exporting sugar, producing and exporting sugar. But this is not being realized. The access, the cost of power, of energy is still high. Don't you think in a policy way, and maybe in your analytical view, something needs to be done better?
Yeah, but before I could go to the analytical, which you need to appreciate is that we have consumption and production. Possibly consumption is surpassing the production. And to me, I think that's why the government is going in for saying that we do bring in to urge for the large production, because still I need to take the historical perspective. Right now, Uganda, we are entering 45 million?
45 million, yes.
Yeah, 45 million people. And I don't think so that we can still we can use the same field to play that we are having. That's why I was telling you that the government, yes, is to blame, because they are not moving the talk, and also they are not moving at the same pace. Because now the consumption, my sister here is saying that in Gulu, people still there are living in the grass-thatched house. But what is the population?
And with that, I meant Gulu district. There is Gulu city
and then
Gulu district.
Yes. Gulu district as a whole. But the population by that time, if we say 30 years ago, it was what? And now we are competing for the electricity which is there in the industrialization you are talking about. And then also we are talking about the small and medium-sized enterprises. Also they are consuming on that power. And then also you submitted about the vision. A vision is a picture that whether like or not, other people may be lucky that you can achieve, but I don't think so that you can achieve a vision. Possibly a government which is not being honest to tell us that this is what we can achieve, please, and this is not what we can achieve. They are just ambitious that everything can be
Professor, you can achieve a vision.
Okay, if it is so that you can do it, you can, but
you need to first have, you need to have,
give us information.
Yeah, okay. To me, from the academic point of view, is that a vision is a very big picture, very big, that it may take you 1,000 miles to gain what? But then within a vision, we extract what we call a mission. And within a mission, I'm able to, like we had the missionaries there, we are able to say Ugandans got saved, and we saw people get, but me,
Professor,
yes.
it starts with a vision. You need to first have a vision.
Yes.
Have a picture of what you're
going to want to be.
Or what you want something to be. Then you work towards the vision. But if you don't have a vision, then what do you work towards? Or what do you work in achieving?
Yes.
So the president of this country has a vision for this country, and believe me, some of the vision, or most of the visions have been achieved. We have come a long way, I already said that. He's taking us step by step. Even you, as a family man or as a professional, you plan that I am going to take this course unit within this given period of time and finish it. This is how I want my family to be. I want to build my house in this given period of time. I want to drive this type of vehicle. Maybe I want to marry my wife. I want to do A, B, C, D. You jot down your plans or your vision on a piece of paper. You do a to-do list. You tick what you have achieved, what you haven't achieved. You go back to the drawing board. You don't give it up. Go back to the drawing board, start from where you have not been able to accomplish. There must have been reasons as to why you've not been able to accomplish your vision. So you don't just quit. You go back and, start from there. This is what is exactly happening in this government. There are certain milestones that have really, made it, and there's others that are still, trying so much to achieve it. We have natural disasters that strike, like the Mbale case. You find that at the end of the day, money which could have been allocated for a particular project has to be channeled there. Of course, there's a ministry for disaster preparedness that handles such cases. But when things go beyond, you end up picking from other pool, to go and rescue a situation. So those are the disparities that sometimes causes.
Let's come back to this point, Honorable. We have suffered enough, and we should not suffer again. Especially where I'm not part of that, but there are people whom, when you meet them, also yourself in the constituency, you appreciate these people shouldn't continue to suffer like this. When you find them dying, struggling within that poverty we are talking about, you are telling someone to be rich, telling someone to prosper. The advantages you are availing, you are revealing, cannot access. And the good thing, you are on a committee of equal opportunities.
Right.
Doesn't have equal opportunity to access electricity. Doesn't have the equal opportunity to access good skills of his choice.
Education.
Me, I'm privileged that here I take my child to where even straight from P1 is learning a computer, is learning to swim. These services are not there. And that's the bigger population we are talking about.
Right.
Then as we talked about the equal opportunity, the equal opportunities, access to social services, it should be an equal opportunity.
Absolutely.
You should not see your neighbor in darkness, and for you are in light, and you think that is safe. You should not be having water and your neighbor is not having water. For you, you can access to pay for the water. The other one cannot pay for the water. This National Water Sewage Corporation, which it does. And there must be a policy in place to ensure that this is done. But now, coming back to a point which we're referring to, the cost of production is high. Consumption is available. And this is still uncontestable, yet unresolved question. In policy-wise, both of you, I need your submission. What can be done faster Because me, this time I'm not going to any praise to anybody. I want a solution.
Subsidize. The government has to
subsidize certain services.
Services to the masses that cannot what?
Exactly.
Cannot afford. And also, I agree with what she said. If we see that area is crucial, then it means we have to divert the funding, the funding to that critical area that we, like for right now, the floods. So whether like or not, we have to.
That's a natural that there is a budget for that, by the way.
Yes, there is, but sometimes it surpasses the budget also. Because now we had famine in Karamoja.
Yes.
We have Mbale. Who knows when next disaster is going to strike?
That is critical. So if they can divert some of the funding, because you have reserved. We talk about financial reserves. We have that money that can go and what. So if they can subsidize. I think right now I think this the parish development model also, I think must be targeting that area which we are saying. The only unfortunate thing is that there have been things like Bonama Gagawale. We have had is it what Emioga? There are which others that were there, but we have not. But we have not realized that the end. And maybe what I can contribute to that, possibly the implementation process, I think also must be very serious. I think this time the parish model has been put at a test, saying it is they have really addressed it to parish that this is where we know this model. I don't know that it is a parish that the parish is done which is going to implement the model, or it is just a name that was given. But it seems this time that it is within the people. And maybe sooner or later we should be hearing a village model, possibly.
No.
Yeah, because with the people who are
in a parish,
yes.
they are villages already in a parish.
Yes.
So this has been trickled down
to
from the
the
sub-county to the people, to the real, the end user, the real beneficiary.
Honorable, let me come to you and I pose a question. Because if we want to develop, we must compare ourselves with how those who have done it better. If you want to be a person, even at our individual level, who want to run fast in development, never fail to admire others who have done it better than you. And the moment you already say that things are good, we are moving on well, you tend to be satisfied. Now the issue at hand, when you look at countries which are my model in development and our model in development, you talk about China, you talk about Taiwan, you talk about those other countries, they consider production at a household.
Right.
And as we are talking about industrialization does not come all of a sudden like that. There should be a spirit that is attached to this model of development. And each country, most of these countries, they identify where they can do better. They identify and say, for us, we want to be known in technology. And you are aware, honorable. And you are aware also, honorable. You want to major in industry, we want to do much more of export and import, we minimize. So the path to this, that's why for last in our discussion, analytical discussion, we want to see, you see there's when you have started a journey. Right. But you are in year one and you are the pace. And you are moving.
You have to engage.
And then the doctor maybe say, that is steady progress. That's we are moving. But there are those who are moving faster, and I don't want another country like in the region to again go faster than us and to say, by the way, we're better than Rwanda, we're better than Burundi. What happened with us? How can we accelerate the speed? Maybe you can give us your input.
Yes, doctor. You cut the size of cloth that fits you. You don't need to bite what you cannot chew. We all know Uganda is an agricultural economy. So the parish development model is basically tailored towards agriculture. And that is what we are focused on.
Is it having a pillar of technology and industry?
A parish development model, slightly,
Doesn't
small
have,
percentage.
Does it have any area that covers technology and industry?
Not really, because it's basically on agriculture and value addition, something like that. Small.
Value addition is attached a bit also.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is to touch the grassroots person right in the villages or in the parishes. in the parishes and in the villages. That is how this parish development model is tailored. Now, right now we cannot jump into industrialization when we have an agricultural economy. Let's first build from where we are and then one step at a time. If you look at these countries like China, Taiwan, and all these, they've also come from a long way. They also started with agriculture. They also started with different activities that have stabilized the economy. So for us now, God has endowed us with natural resources. We have beautiful land. We have beautiful vegetation, good weather. Let's utilize that which we have. One thing I would like to employ Ugandans is that let's change our mind. Let's get away from the dependency syndrome of like the government should do all this, the government should give us this, NGOs should give this, the country should borrow to, let's use the little that we have. Step up from the little that we have. The government has tried a lot of interventions, as you've just mentioned the name, the Myoga, the SAF 1, 2, Youth Life, yes, so many initiatives that the president has really tried as a father of the nation to ensure that we eradicate poverty. But our mindset, we have this mentality that this is a government, it's like a cash bonanza. Get it, use it. Who is going to arrest you? The youth, I laughed at some of the youth in my district. They were running from one district to the other because they were not able to repay the youth livelihood project. This is a revolving fund that is supposed to basically uplift your standard of living. So if we do not tap the parish development model, which to me I almost think it's the last end or the last initiative that the government has done to empower the grassroots person economically, if we don't use that, then I don't know what intervention or what salvation we need to rid ourselves out of poverty. Because this money is going to every household. Ideally, every household is supposed to get 1 million shilling. You get it?
Every household?
Yes.
But that's not practical because I'm aware of my neighborhood here at Namungona, yeah, and was going to register and they was only promised 300,000.
300,000. Well, the thing is, as Parliament, we passed 100 million per parish. But in the last financial year, we were not able to disburse the 100 million per parish. It is going to be effective this financial year. So if you're getting 500, 300, that was for the last financial year. In this financial year, a beneficiary is going to be able to receive 100 million shilling, 1 million shilling. 1 million shilling, if you plan well, it can change your life. Coupled with the hard work, don't get the 100 million and then again start employing so many people to work for you. Work with your small family. Try and get, if you need help, try and get help to supplement the skill and the energy that you have. Start small and grow. But it's all about the mindset. That's how we can step out of poverty.
Thank you for your submission. But there is a challenging question I pose, and I will go to the doctor as well. In this way, we continue to look at why our rate of industrializing remains low. I do put a question.
Why it remains low?
Yes, I do put a question on the policy design. It's questionable. This is me who's saying it as I moderate. The policy design and also the commitment. You can talk about what all along you are appreciating and which maybe I can join you with that in that song, All Wisdom, is that there is a political will. I have here documented, this one here, it is a national development plan. Okay, the political will is there. But the commitment and the policy design, and the design does not stop at design but implementation.
Yes, that is, I think, very important.
Yes, now, it would have been deliberate for this country in any other program it may think about to say if we want to be an industrializing country, what does the Acholi sub-region do best? In agriculture, if it is simsim, we want to see mass production of simsim.
Exactly.
Then we have an industry there.
Right.
And we'll get the model. He was talking about, we'll get those who are model, industrial business persons. And the modern industrial business person, they will enable the micro producers of this crop to be the marketing center through cooperative. And then you find if you are traveling to maybe Dubai, it is easy to go with your best improved sim package.
Right.
And you know that the Ugandan brand sim is in Dubai. I was in Dubai and found it.
Yeah.
That's why I could now
True.
put my heart at rest.
Yes.
Because we've moved and find the Ugandan product in the global market as it is an aspiration of the president, very well stated. It is lucky. And that's why I said, even before we went into this program, that we have 17% of the export. That means that 83% we import. How can we change this? What are your last recommendations? We are going to go for the commercial break and come back last, right? And those are the areas we'll be dealing with to come up with recommendations, and we'll be clear with what we are recommending to, because we need to be better, not bitter. God bless you as I see you in the next session.